minutes, let some people get on there if you want.
All right, guys, just give us a second. We're making sure everything's set up right. We are actually on 2 different channels on YouTube, and we are also on TikTok. Going to talk about a case that Front Porch America has come to us with to help him out on. So we're going to talk about that case today. Give it just a little bit and we'll get some people on here.
So while we wait, we can go ahead and talk about just what you guys have been doing today. So again, my TikTok fans, this is Ronnie and Trey. Ronnie is with Brothers Underwater Recovery and Trey is with Narked. So we reached out to them. I use Ronnie quite a bit here where I live for different things that we want to maybe sonar or look for in the Ohio River. So to just kind of talk about what you've been doing today, what you guys have been out doing.
Okay, so we had a fan, a subscriber that reached out to me and said that he's spotted a car in the Ohio River down by Shawneetown. So I got a hold of Trey and we come out to Old Town, put in. There's about 4-foot swells. So it's pretty rough, wind blowing. We got out there. It wasn't raining at all when we got there.
It was clear.
It was pretty clear. We got down there, a couple miles down the river where we was gonna sonar at. And anyway, it started raining on us. We did find something. It's either a sunken boat or a car. But the river's too rough, so we're gonna have to go back again and check it pretty soon. So that's kind of what we've been doing today is we sonar in the Ohio River down by Shawneetown, trying to, see what that was. So, and then
so did you find anything while you guys were out there, anything that you may think is suspicious or something worth looking into?
Yeah, there is either a sunken boat or a older car that's been there for a while.
So I know, Ronnie, on your channel a while back, I noticed you went up to Central Kentucky.
Yes.
And pulled several cars out up there.
We pulled 3 cars up there.
So out of any of those cars, were any of them anything that they had been looking for?
No missing persons. There were, let's see, 2. One of them was an insurance dump. I believe one of them was a stolen truck that had been in there for like 15 years. Cops knew about it. But they said they didn't have the funds to get them pulled out, so that's where we came in. And Tri-State Towing, helps you guys a lot. They come out on their own dime and helped us pull them out.
Even though when you pull these vehicles out and it doesn't lead to closing a case or any new tips or leads, it is pretty much a good training experience for everybody involved.
Absolutely, it helps us train. Diving on vehicles, hooking vehicles up for them. There was a little bit of visibility in that, so it kind of helps us to see what's going on under there. And training for that, we can do it in the Ohio River to where you have no visibility and you just kind of feel around and you know what you're feeling.
Right. So when you guys dive on these vehicles or potential missing persons, that plays a big factor in your success, right? The visibility.
Yes.
And, like the Ohio River, you can't see anything in there. It's just pretty much blind.
Basically, in the Ohio River, if the windows are all up, don't bust no windows out. We'll pull a car. If the windows are all down, you just pull it and find out what's in it later.
Right.
Try to pull a license plate off of it or an emblem or something to where you can bring it up to surface and you can see what it is.
Let me restart. We can continue talking. I'm going to restart this. For some reason, my live.
Give us just a second, guys. His shut down.
Signal in here. It's not very good at all. But either way, we'll go and we'll share you guys if my live doesn't work out, because in this building we don't have very good signal. So
successfully, we've pulled out 2 from vehicles. Of course, a lot of you that's been following me for a while, y'all know that I work with the fire department, EMA, you know, all of that as well, not on camera and, you know, kind of on a...
Right, and so that's another thing we can touch on is, you know, when you do go on these searches and you do recover a vehicle that you know there's a body inside that the authorities have been looking for, how do you handle that with the public? Because, you know, once you get on scene, everybody likes to come around and watch what's going on.
Usually the fire department, unless it's just us, it's not announced. You know, if we get a hold of law enforcement and they come out, they take over the scene.
So when you're pulling that vehicle from the water and there is a body in it, do you guys take measures to cover up?
Yes.
So-
Soon as it pops out of the water, we'll take a tarp, whatever, put
Cover it
over
up.
it. Yeah.
So that kind of, you know, that respects that person's privacy,
Lots
the
of respect.
families and things like that. So, well, let's go ahead and let's dive into this case. And if my TikTok quits working, we'll just we'll definitely share your YouTube pages with the family. So what we're doing is, and this is a fluke how I got involved. A couple weeks ago, I was reached out to and ended up diving headfirst into this case. This case is about Andy Wagner, who went missing in Evansville last August, so August 2022. The last known contacts anybody had with her was August 6th.
Right.
And then I think the family reported her missing around August 12th, something like that. So the middle of August is what we're looking at. You know, and the family feels like the authorities are not putting everything in the case. And we know, because we work with the authorities,
Yes.
a lot of times they're not going to disclose what they think is important leads or important information just so it doesn't get out to...
Yeah, they can't give out a lead that just come in, because if the family finds it out, and I'm not gonna say that I wouldn't do it,
Right.
but if, say, this
Well-
person was involved in the missing, don't you think the dad or the uncle or the brother or whatever is gonna go after that person?
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then also, you know, your potential suspects can get wind of it and then,
Yes.
you know, do whatever they have to do to dispose of evidence, flee,
Yes,
whatever
absolutely.
it is. So what we're doing is there's nothing that says that we can't do our own investigation.
Right.
Now, we're not going to impede by no means on the authorities' investigation, but we're going to run our own routes. We're going to do everything, especially in the public waterways, and that's
Yeah.
what we're going to focus on today. You know, we've got some information, and whether it's new or old information, doesn't matter. We're gonna go with you guys, and we're gonna start doing a little sonaring, and maybe even dive
Well,
on
we got some strip
potential-
pits, some lakes, you know,
Yeah.
different things like that, that we're gonna sonar for Miss Andy and try to bring her home and help you with your investigation. You know, we're not investigators by
Right.
no means, but we do our research.
Well, I think it's important, and this is just coming from me. If I had a child missing for that long, I think I would exhaust every avenue.
Absolutely.
And again, we've got to be very careful that we don't impede on the authorities' investigation, because the last thing we want to do is do something that's going to cause a big conflict or mess up evidence or anything like that. So again, hopefully this coming weekend, we're going to get out on the water, weather permitting, run those sonars. And, you know, we'll talk about Andy. Her birthday was just Friday. She would have been 25 years old Friday. I think some friends, I wasn't able to, I couldn't get off work to do it. I think some friends had a little visual that they went to, and I think they done a peaceful protest in front of one of the law enforcement offices. I've seen the little bits and pieces of that. I think they released some balloons and things like that. But our main focus is to try to keep this as fresh in the media, as fresh in everybody's eyes as we possibly can.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
You know, that's on every case. Just that one person watching could know something.
right.
And reach out to
Right.
any of us.
Let me step away and answer this phone
Yeah,
call.
absolutely. Okay, so guys, I am going to try to answer some questions here while he's stepping away to answer the phone. Big E, Ohio, like I said, we've pulled 2 people out of vehicles and then actually 6 with not on you know, YouTube or nothing like that. People that we found, you know, in the woods or whatever. We just had a 3-year-old that come walking to us out of the woods not very long ago, and that was with the the fire department over in Golconda, and EMA and all kinds of different people were involved with that, state police and everything. So, hey Mark, what's up? Corey, what's up, buddy? Floss, how you guys doing? Thank you guys for joining in. We're also on Narked Divers channel as well, and Front Porch America, we are on his TikTok as well, if you guys know him.
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, they can find me on TikTok. But, okay. So yeah, so the plan is to offer this family as much help as we can, again, without impeding on any other investigations. So, you know, if we go to these public lakes, waterways, and we just run sonar, obviously if we find anything that we think is suspicious or of interest, we're going to call the authorities to have them come in. And then we'll just try to do what we can do. In the meantime, you know, I done a video a few days ago on, you know, Andy had so many friends that people that she called her friend. And where are those friends? You know, a lot of them have come forward, but I still feel like there's some that haven't came forward.
Right.
And, you know, there's threats been made to certain individuals regarding this whole case. And, you know, there's ways to stay anonymous when you report these things. And it's very important.
Yeah, absolutely. Make an anonymous account, reach out to.
Yeah, and the good thing, a lot of these law enforcement agencies have anonymous tip lines.
Yeah.
You know, and if you're really, really concerned, you can always go to a store or something and use their phone and call in, you know.
They still got payphones.
And yeah, there are some places that still have payphones. So, again, with Brothers Underwater Recovery and Narked Divers, we are planning, as of right now, to this weekend, probably Saturday, to go and sonar some different places and just kind of talk about your process of doing that, what it takes to get there, and kind of what you guys do once you get on scene.
Okay. First of all, let me let my wife know. This is Rick from Uniontown. That's all I say for that. You know who he is. Okay, so what was your question again?
So when you guys get on scene, what is it, the process that you guys do to start your sonar, start your investigation, so to speak? And I use the term investigation loosely,
right.
But
the whole research investigation part of it actually starts at home. So we get on the computer, we go through Facebook, you know, posts or whoever we're looking for, see if there's anything on the web or internet about that person. Name us, we go through that. If there's anything on there that we can look into, then we start from the last known location, maybe a cell phone ping or something like that. We'll look for waterways in that area. We'll get the boat out, start sonaring. You know, we got the regular boat, and thanks to all of the viewers on here, we've got a very expensive, nice sonar with the live imaging and all that we can, you know, find vehicles and find
just different anomalies in the water.
Anomalies, we'll go with that.
Yeah. So again, you know, it does take obviously money, and you guys do this at no cost. And,
no cost.
You know,
all of our viewers help us, you know, with donations and,
right.
You know, buying our shirts and different things like that. That's how we're able to get out and do all this.
So, and that was another thing that I wanted to stress. You know, I'm sure a lot of people have a business to go and search for different things, but, you know, just coming from the environment that I work in, you know, it's actually illegal in some aspect to charge people. And what I mean by that is, if I was to call up
It's
a search and
immoral
rescue. Yeah, it is immoral.
to
If I
charge
was to
the
call
family.
a search and rescue team up and say, hey, can you come help me find my son? And be like, yeah, it's $500.
Yeah, that's
You know,
ridiculous.
but there's nothing wrong with taking, donations. I know that a lot of places will
See,
accept
we
donations.
won't accept donations from a family. If, let's say that, a mother's looking for a daughter and she says, well, I want to donate $1,000 to you guys to help you pay for gas. No, ma'am, we can't accept
Right.
that. We won't accept that. You know,
And I think, there has been a GoFundMe set up for Andy's family and them to help with any kind of expense that comes along. And again, we're not worried about that. I'm definitely not
and
worried
that's
about
awesome.
that.
If you can get me that information, I'll put it in the description of this video.
I can get
so
that
they
for you and put that in there.
that-
And
that'll
again, we're
help.
gonna share both of their YouTube videos with you guys. I'll probably send it to Andy's mom, let her distribute that out.
And Trey's over here just not talking at all.
Yeah, he's just kind of sitting back.
I'm letting you guys to kind of take the lead on this. 'Cause
No, go right
you
ahead.
get a lot of the information.
And the thing about it is, Andy's not the only one that's missing. There are
No, there's
actually a
lots
few
of them.
more in the Evansville area that have gone missing, and there's not a lot of leads on. And this drug scene that has just kind of almost gotten out of hand in our area has led to a lot of the sex trafficking and overdoses. And, fentanyl is one of the biggest things, fentanyl and heroin right now. And whether or not it was an accidental overdose and they freaked out and got rid of the body,
Which we had a case like that around where I live.
Yeah, and we do.
a few
I deal
years
with
back.
that. I've dealt with that a few times, and people freak out, and they do that, and they make the wrong decisions at that time. But it's been almost a year, and if that's the case, it's time for them to come forward.
Yeah.
It's a shame that no one takes responsibility for their actions, and this is where people need to take responsibility. And again,
At least tell somebody where she's at.
Yeah, where's Andy's friends?
We don't care how it was done. We don't care why it was done. We would just like to bring her home to her family.
Yeah, and once that happens, then they'll figure out the what, when, whys, and wheres.
Right.
But we
And that's not our job though. We
No,
don't care about that.
no, our whole job is to get out there and continue to looking, to keep this case alive, to keep this case fresh in the media's eyes. Certain people go missing and it just blows up all over the news for
Yeah.
whatever reasons, and it almost seems unfair because
Yeah.
I believe everyone that goes missing deserves that same coverage.
Absolutely.
And I get it. A lot more. Some cases have a little more bigger draw, I guess, for your
Yeah.
ratings or whatever.
Yeah. It's all about a rating game.
But to me, Andy's disappearance is so profoundly just weird and that's what drew me in. Normally I'd be like, well, I don't really want to get involved in this, but the deeper.
That's the same with us. We do a lot of the vehicle recovery, because it's easier to find a car than it is a body,
Right,
honestly.
right.
But a lot of people that follow me on, YouTube, on my channel, they also know that I have a dog that's been trained, and Rick's got one as well. So we can do a little bit of land searching,
Right.
if need be.
My dog is a scent-specific dog, and he's not a cadaver dog, and cadaver dogs try to find deceased
Yep.
people, obviously, as to where mine wants to find the live person.
See, mine's
So-
live tracking and cadaver,
So your dog would benefit a lot more in this than mine would. So, hopefully you'll bring your dog next weekend if we get that chance to get out there and search. And then after that, we can't guarantee that we're going to find something. We can't guarantee that we're not going to find something.
Right.
Some of these places are pretty deep, and it's going to be tough to, identify a lot of things. But most everybody knows, especially you guys know, when you see something underwater that, oh, that's not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Whether it's
it sticks out like a sore thumb.
yeah, and so I've reached out to some pretty influential podcasters. I'm actually waiting on one to get back with me now that I feel like he's going to get involved, and if he gets involved, I think we can probably really make some headway on this. and because he is phenomenal.
Good deal.
I'm not gonna mention his name, but once he confirms that yes, he wants to get involved, then we'll throw that out there. And then we'll give some of his podcasts so the listeners can go and listen to how he investigates stuff. And it's really amazing on what they do. And I wish I really had the time to devote to do that. You know, I've reached out to some other people that's really kind of intrigued by the case, is the word I'm looking for, because it is intriguing. You know, if somebody doesn't want to be found, they're not going to be found.
Right.
I mean, it's that simple. But if somebody that wants to be found,
I mean, wasn't there
hasn't
just
been
a
found-
woman from, I think it was Evansville? Somewhere, or maybe it was in Kentucky.
So it was somewhere in Indiana that went missing for like 40 years.
Yeah.
And then she was in Texas and showed up, I
Yes.
think is what it was.
Yeah.
So, and
That was
then
crazy.
the podcaster that I'm talking about, he actually followed a story about a missing girl, and then another girl taking the identity of this girl and several identities to stay hid from her situation. And it just, like, it blew me away. Like, just the measures that people will take because, you know, either they're scared or they just don't know what to do, or they're so far in over their head, they think if they come out now, then, you know, it's for them. But it actually turned out really well for this lady, and she is doing phenomenal with her life now. So, but again, so this weekend we're gonna visit a few places. Probably one place that's a pretty large area. We'll probably take most of the day to do, and then, you know, the more tips, the more leads you guys bring in, especially public waterways. Because once we get into the private waterway sector, it's a whole different story.
Yeah.
We've got to gain permission and access to that property. And
Yeah, we can't just go on somebody's
Right.
property and say, hey, you know.
we're going to look for this, X,
Yeah,
Y, and Z.
we got this going on or
And
whatever.
then again, if they're potential suspects, you know, automatically they're not going to want you on their
Right.
property, whether there's anything there or not.
Yeah.
And we've got to respect that. We can't just, you know, unless authorities have a search warrant for probable cause that, hey, we have really good information that X, Y, and Z is here.
Yeah.
And then that's a different story. And then obviously they have their own team. And a lot of times they'll reach out to, you know, people like us and say, hey, give us a hand.
Yeah, we get
and this.
used by law enforcement quite.
I know,
quite a bit.
you know, we've been trying to utilize you guys here where we live a little more, and it's been pretty cool actually. You know, we found several
Yeah.
vehicles, some boats, and just, you know, nothing that.
We've got a pirate ship we gotta.
Yeah, that's
Check out,
I'm
but-
kind of excited about to see what that
Me
is.
too.
You know, because the Ohio River, off subject, but the Ohio River was a pretty good. So,
Sorry about that,
you know,
guys.
you say pirate ship, it could have been an old Civil War ship,
Yeah.
because there is references to having battles on the Ohio and ships sinking on the Ohio, and things like that. So, so that's what we got today. We just wanted to let you guys know that we are working this, as amateurs as we are. These guys are a little more experienced in the diving and sonaring than I am. Again, we can't impede on the authorities' investigation, but we can continue to do what we need to do.
Yes, we
as
can-
long
we
as
can
it
do
doesn't
our own.
interfere with theirs. And again, we're going to search every public waterway that has a tip, a lead, or any information that we think that you guys send in to either Andy's mom or her friends. Now, if you throw out something like, hey, we believe she's in Alaska, then we probably
Yeah,
not going
we're-
to look into that, obviously. But anything within a surrounding area, and we've kind of got that mapped out, and we've left out the specifics on that.
Yeah.
So we don't want to disclose any of that information as of right now. Obviously, once we do, probably we'll go live the days we're searching or sonaring, and some of you guys in that area will recognize it or whatever, but we're not going to give that out just out of respect for Andy's mom and Andi herself, and even the, you know, we may not think they deserve respect, but even the suspects or people
Yeah,
of
because they're
interest,
just, they're
we
just
can't-
people of interest or suspects at this time. They're not.
And I know,
the
you know,
person
and
that
in my
did
heart,
anything.
I feel like some of them that I've looked through and kind of done some research on probably had a hand in it. But from the authority standpoint, because the last thing we want to do is get ourselves in trouble.
Yeah, no, so we won't be talking to none of the suspects. We won't be talking to anybody that's involved with this case except for maybe, Andy's mom.
Yes.
You know, and
And
that'll
I'm probably
be
going to
through
reach
you.
out. I'm going to reach out to some of the law enforcement agencies up there and just, you know, have a conversation with them, let them know what's going to be going on. Because the last thing we want to do is draw a big crowd and cause a big ruckus at these locations because they are public use locations, and we definitely don't want to ruin that for anybody. But again, we've got Brothers Underwater Recovery and Narked Divers, and it's Ronnie, and this is Trey. I keep wanting to call you Tyler, and you're Trey.
And then we have Rick with Front Porch America on TikTok. So if you guys would go check his channel out, and you guys know Trey from Narked Divers,
And then
go check his out.
And once you guys get to my TikTok, you'll realize that I don't normally do these kind. You know, most of my stuff is hunting, funny stuff, just funny
Right.
videos. But I felt like this is something that needed to be done. It's been almost a year. In August, it will be a year since Andy went missing. She just turned 25 Friday, and I couldn't even imagine. You know, I've got kids myself, her age, or almost exactly her age, and around her age, and it just blows me away that to go day in and day out with not any kind of answers, no information. And we get it. We really do get it and understand, because we kind of work in this area, that there is some information that the authorities cannot give to us.
Right,
even
absolutely,
us.
even us.
And we have to respect that, but we also need to feel and see them working this case. And it's tough because there's so many people, and they probably have cases piled up on their desk that they're working.
Yeah.
But again, it's important to keep this out in front, keep this in the media, keep this on social media.
Yeah, so if
do
you
your
guys
part.
would, anybody that is watching this could
there's
help any of them.
Yeah, there's a Facebook page called Where is Andy?
Where is Andy?
So, you know, there's only one requirement, is that you share the post. You know, you can choose what post you share, but at least try to share
the
one
post,
today.
share these videos out, you know.
And get that out there, and get that awareness out there. You know, we can talk about the Gabby Petito case, you know, how it just kind of blew up and went all over the nation.
Yep.
What was that factor in that caused that to blow up? Well, one of the leading factors was that encounter with that officer on that interstate, to where she had markings. And I think after they kind of investigated that kind of helped it blow up, because, oh my God, authorities are here and they didn't report this, this, and this. And again, a lot of people don't understand that the authorities have certain rules and regulations they have to follow. Now, do they follow them all the time? Probably not, you know, but that's not our place to judge. Our goal is to sonar these public waterways, get out there, get the information out, and see what we can come up with. And if you have any leads and you're scared, there are ways to stay anonymous. If you don't want to use your own cell phone, go to a payphone. There are still a few around. Go to a store, borrow their phone, go somewhere. You know, type up a letter, drop it into the sheriff's office or FBI's office, whoever the authority is. You know, just drop it in there. Get that information out. Make sure it's credible information that you can back up. You know, a lot of times we'll get this information that this brother said this about this. You know, you get 7 people deep, and it turns out that it's not even anything relevant to it. So we kind of want to, and that's the tough part, is going through all these leads and all this information and trying to get that out there. So again, this weekend we're hoping to go out to this one area to start off with. We got several areas that we can check that is public. And just see what we come up with. And
absolutely,
you know, we may not come up with a body, we may not come up with any leads, we may end up finding a car, and you know, that's just something else.
And if we have to, we'll pull that out too.
And the key to these things is even though we're looking for one specific person, these endeavors or adventures, if you will,
run into
lead to
more.
solving other cases.
Absolutely.
We've all seen that, and that's our goal. So if you guys can just help us out by sharing these videos, go to Brothers Underwater Recovery's YouTube page, Narked Divers YouTube page, subscribe to them, follow them, you know, follow the TikTok, Front Porch America. We're going to constantly be working on this. And again, I want to stress it so much. You can stay anonymous because eventually this is going to get too much on somebody. And it seems like it's a young group of people that's kind of got themselves tied up in the drug ring or whatever ring. We can't accuse anybody of this, but suspectively, that's what it seems like. And it seems like a bunch of young, immature, bad influenced people that's gotten involved with this, whether it was an accident or what. The only goal is finding where Andi is and bringing her home, so her mom and her family, her sisters, and everybody can have that closure. You know.
So we actually have a Facebook page, Brothers Underwater Recovery, that you can message on there if need be, if you have information. We don't care about the how or the why, just where. If you've got that, let us know. We'll go get her, bring her home. You know,
So until next time, hopefully we'll be get back this weekend with some live video from where we're going to be sonaring. We'll be with these guys and Ronnie's dog. Hopefully, if not, that's okay too. We may just however you want to handle it.
probably just work on the sonar because you
Yeah.
got some credible tips on sonaring. You know, different places that you need to sonar, and then if you get something on
We can always bring the dog into
land,
air
then we can always bring Rex in for that.
So that's what we're going to be doing. So you guys subscribe to Brothers Underwater Recovery, Narked Divers,
And go check out Front Porch America on TikTok if you guys do TikTok. And thank you guys that we hit 3,800 subscribers today. Awesome. Appreciate it.
Good job.
And love each and every one of you and all the support that you guys give us. Check out this case. There's lots and lots of information out there.
And it's Andy Wagner, A-N-D-I, Wagner, W-A-G-N-E-R.
Yep.
And again, there's a Facebook page, Where is Andy? Go to it, join it. Again, the only requirement is you share a post, once a day at least. Try to get this information out there, and let's try to get these credible tips to come in and get this information. Again, our goal is to try to find Andy and bring her home one way or the other.
Yeah.
So
Share these videos out. Maybe other YouTubers will get on the story and blow it up.
More
That's
information.
what we want. We want this story to blow up.
Trey, do you have anything to add since you've kind of just been
It's
quiet
just-
the whole time?
I don't really have anything to add other than I don't do a lot of lives, and I know you guys had a lot of information that you wanted to get out there, so
Yeah.
I was just gonna let you guys.
And the
take
sad
away.
thing is, we don't have, or I have a lot of information that we can't disclose.
Yeah.
Which is understandable, because you don't wanna mess up an
So,
investigation.
yeah, we'll kind of go over that at a later time, but as of right now,
But
this is where we're at, so.
everyone that's watching, if you could like and definitely share these videos with anyone that you could think of, because to get more information, it has to reach so many people. And
Yeah.
It takes that one person to see maybe her name, or maybe someone that knew her that cared enough to see that, and then maybe come forward, and then someone might know something.
It only takes one person.
Yep.
That's it.
But it's just getting her name out there.
And again, I'm working on some pretty, famous is a crap word in my opinion, but well-known podcasters and some investigators.
Sometimes that's what it takes
Yeah.
to bring in.
And so I'm hoping to hear back from him this week, and once that does, and because I just had this just feeling that he's going to jump all over this.
I hope he does.
I reached out, and his agent actually called me and said, hey, he's going to call you back. Going to be the third person, so that's where we're at with that. So once we get that done, and I've got some other people that I've been talking to. So just reach out, share these videos, tag, these searchers, these other people in there, whoever you want. It doesn't matter at this point. We're just trying to get that information out and bring Andy home one way or the other. It would be amazing
That's our
if we
ultimate
get a
goal.
lead and somebody has her held up somewhere and we can bring her home that way. But at this point, Andy's mom and sisters and family, they just want her to come home.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to do, is we want to try, and we can't
Give her
guarantee
answers.
anything, but we're going to work our tails off. I know that. So, all right, guys. So next time, hopefully, we'll be on the water doing some sonaring. So thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. All right, guys, we are going to get out of here. Sorry I didn't get to answer a whole bunch of questions or anything, or get to read comments. We wanted to get this information out there and let you guys know that we are going to be working this case with Rick. Front Porch America on TikTok. So if you guys would go check his channel out, and if you guys want to donate anything to us, down in the description, I'm gonna put, his link. Trey's should already be there. And all of our information to, donate to us for gas or equipment or anything like that. You want to help Rick's gas or Trey's gas or whatever, you know,
I would
it's all
rather
there.
see the money go towards you guys. I'm good, so anything they donate, we'll definitely try to push towards you guys, because I know it's a long way from where you guys go to some of these places we go to. And again, you know, people don't realize that y'all do this basically, and I don't want to call it fun, but for an adventure to, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we do it because it's what we love to do.
Right, and you know, there's no charge to it except for y'all's gas and,
Yeah,
you know, sometimes
equipment
maintenance on
and-
equipment and things like that, so.
I do it because there's not enough people that.
There's not.
Yeah, and there's
you know,
not.
And there's not a lot.
not a whole lot of people that
I
does
don't remember the
this.
statistics for the numbers. How many
You know,
people
there's
are
some
missing
good
each
ones
day.
and not
It's
so good ones out there doing
1,800 people,
it.
1,800 people go missing every day.
Yeah. So I mean, even if you had, I don't know how many teams it would take.
Oh, yeah,
It's a lot.
And that's I feel like a lot of these cases don't get solved because there's not enough people like us out there doing this.
Yeah.
You know, just in the last few years, it's kind of there's more now.
Yeah.
And obviously, you see the more that comes in, the more cases get solved, the more
Yeah.
people get found, and that's just what we got to do. Actually, I'm looking into going to get my dive certification.
Heck yeah.
So
That'd be cool.
yeah.
The more the better, because
Yeah,
you never know.
so-
Like, you get several.
I've got
cars
I've
in
got
the
a stack of certifications like this, but I don't have diving. Is
Right.
one of them that I don't have, so I'm looking into doing that. A friend of mine is actually dive certified, and he's got all the information I need to go get it done.
Well, Mermet
So,
Springs is a great place over there.
Where is that at?
Over there in Metropolis, or
Metropolis,
right outside
yeah.
of Metropolis.
Yep. And there's another one in Hopkinsville, Kentucky, that I think where he
Pennyroyal.
went to. Yeah. So, and he's pretty good friends with the guy down there. So we're gonna get it done.
So either way, you know,
Yeah. So.
one of the other places. But anyway, we're gonna get out of here, guys. We are, we've got a few more things to do before we head home. And love each and every one of you. Until next time, guys, stick with us.
Thanks for having me.
Just want to say thank you all for tuning in. I know I said little as possible.